channel, the Midwest Plant Gal. Today, we're going to be taking 3 different cuttings of the same plant and putting them in 3 different potting mediums to see if there is any growing difference depending on what potting medium you put your plant in. Today, we're going to be taking these 3 cuttings that I've been propagating in water. They have really good roots. And we're going to be planting them in 3 different types of growing mediums. I'm excited to see what the difference is going to be. So the first growing medium we're going to be using is just plain chunky soil. This is a mixture of Fox Farm, chunky perlite, orchid bark, and some sphagnum moss. So we're going to take our first cutting and just put it here in the center of our pot. Just like so. Okay, so here we got our first guy. He's just gonna be in our regular traditional kind of chunky soil mixture that is just kind of the traditional way to go when growing a propagation or plant. The second plant is also gonna be grown in chunky soil mixture, but we are going to add in fluval stratum. Fluval stratum is something that's usually used in aquariums, but it is absolutely full of nutrients and all kinds of great stuff. I've been using it a lot just for propagating and putting plants in a complete pot of fluval. So I'm curious to see if I mix it in here just a little bit with my soil, if I'll notice a difference on how fast my plants will grow. So in the bottom, we just have a mixture of our chunky soil, and then I mixed in some fluval stratum. Gonna take our second cutting with those roots. We're gonna put them in here. You don't need a ton of fluval to get the benefits. It is kind of pricier, so I'm just gonna put it on the bottom part of the soil. Okay, now we got our second cutting, which is going to be the mixture of chunky soil and stratum. Now for this third cutting, we're gonna use a completely different type of potting medium. We are going to be using leca. Leca is these little clay balls, and this is where I'm just going to grow my plant with a reservoir of water. The thing about leca is there is no nutrients in leca, so you will have to add some sort of plant food. We've got our third cutting. I'm gonna place him in here. This plant might do really good in leca since it's been growing in water. It has water roots, so it might actually thrive in leca. Because sometimes plants that go from soil into leca do not adjust very well since they don't have water roots and they are at higher risk of getting root rot. Okay, there's our third cutting in our leca. For my leca reservoir, I'm just gonna take the same size solo cup I used to plant, put a little water in the bottom, and just simply set it in there. Okay, so now that we have our 3 plants, same plant, different types of potting mediums, I am simply going to put them all in the same growing environment in my plant cabinet. I will show that to you here in a minute. And I'm going to track these for the next month. And in a month, I'm going to do a video update on the growing progress to see if there's any difference between the different potting mediums. Okay, here all 3 of them are in the bottom row of my plant cabinet. This is going to be kind of a humid, nice, light environment so that we can really see some growth on these guys. For more plant content and tips like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. And stay tuned for the result video in a couple of weeks.